it's like that narrative doesn't work. And not only that, they weren't molested by the same sex. They were molested, what, by the opposite sex. So shouldn't we
Right.
be talking about the family child predators that we're just letting off the hook for I don't know what reason? You're so afraid of child predators and that gay people are child predators, yet the actual child predators who are straight in our family, we're just letting off the hook. That doesn't make any sense. But like people don't think about it. They don't, but people still think that I'm becoming a pedophile because I've come out to say that I'm attracted to the same sex. For some reason, it interprets in their mind, because that's how they've been fearmongered in churches, that, oh, when you're gay, you're really saying that you're into small children, which is not the case. I mean, pedophilia, it does exist, but it is definitely a thing in straight people, just as it is for anyone else. And most people aren't. And that includes the LGBT community. Most people, the majority of people are not, they're not pedophiles. So we need to, you need to expose them and realize like, hey, like,
And change the narrative.
yeah.
Why do you think, and I'm not going to ask you here today because you've been asked in almost every interview since coming out, and I'm not going to ask you, but why do you think the media in every interview you've ever done, pretty much since coming out, people always ask, who are you dating? Do you have a boyfriend? Like there's this media upset because they are two different things, right? Like your music, you were just on The Masked Singer, you have a new single, coming out and identifying yourself to the world, which I don't even necessarily need to do. And like, why do you think every interview you do, the media is just so obsessed with this aspect of David Archuleta now that you've come out?
I feel like that's just always like with a public figure that people feel familiar with, and they want to know the dating life. You look at Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber and Charlie Puth and whoever he's dating, and the Jonas Brothers and who they're dating. It's just like everyone wants to know, like, ooh, who's everyone with? I don't know. And I think also it's like I've shared so much about like my personal journey. So that's kind of the next step, is like, okay, well, you said that you like guys now, so who are you dating? And it's just a part that I've decided to keep to myself because I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm still navigating all this. I also don't like hearing everyone's opinion about something that's my choice. It's one thing to help people see like, okay, I'm sharing my journey of coming out because I know there are a lot of people in my position, but who I'm dating, I feel like that's between two people. And when you involve more people into that, it can get messy. There's more opinions that are needed, and opinions from people who don't even know the dynamic of what the relationship may be. So I just preferred to keep that to myself until there's a time that feels appropriate, that is like, you know what, I feel like I'm in a relationship where things feel stable. I've nurtured it the way it needs to be, where now I can let the wolves come, because sometimes the public can get really, I don't know, just very nippy and very opinionated, and like I said, not know everything that entails into why you decided to get into that relationship.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of music, you were just on The Masked Singer and it did get emotional. You had one of the more emotional eliminations. Looking back at your music career, do you have any vivid memories of Hannah Montana and working with Miley? Just to
Oh,
lighten the mood for a minute.
yeah. Oh gosh. Hannah Montana was really fun. I I was nervous because I was like, wow, like I watched this show, like coming home from schools from time to time, and it's pretty funny. And now I'm going to be on it. It's just kind of just a weird thing. It like plays with your head. I'm like, I watched this on TV and now I'm in the TV screen. uh, and it's funny because a lot of people who grew up watching Hannah Montana come up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, you were on Hannah Montana. And a lot of people come up to me and they're like, wait, you're a real character? Like, I thought you were just a made up character that was made up for iCarly or made up for Hannah Montana. We didn't know you're an actual singer. So that's pretty funny too, to see. I'm like, wow, I'm, yes,
It's me.
I'm real.
Is any part of you like, because I know you've been very vocal about your idol journey too, like when, you were obviously going through all of this and you were 16. And I mean, is any part of you like, do you regret doing idol? Do you almost wish you dealt with all of this personally and like your music just came to the public at a later date?
No, not at all. I see the full circle moment now. I just all I say is American Idol for me was a once in a lifetime experience. Like really just once in a lifetime. That's all I need. I do not want more than that because there is a lot of pressure. There's a lot that goes into that show. It's very demanding, emotionally, mentally, because like it's so I'm glad because I feel like I survived through it. I made it to the finale on that show, and it brought me so many opportunities. But I feel like I've grown past that. I do not need something like that again because it did take a toll. It was tiring, and so yeah. But what it now being where I am today, like if I didn't go through all that, I wouldn't be able to have the platform. Like I wouldn't be a public figure that people listen to, like not just singing, but like sharing my story. If I were just some quiet kid in Utah, I would have stayed this quiet kid suffering and I would have like suffered to the point where I could have done something harmful to myself or I would have just left the church and no one would have batted an eyelash. They would have just been like, "Oh, look, there goes another person who chose to be gay over to choose God, and he must be evil, and who knows what he's up to now." Whereas I'm able to tell my story, people see like, hey, he did not turn evil just because he came out, and he's he's thriving and he's happy and he's doing better than he did before. We didn't know he was having a hard time because he put a good front on for everybody. So I'm so glad that I can tell my story so that it makes people think who do we know that we may think we may be making assumptions about when they really this is what they're really going through. Like hopefully like seeing David Archuleta's journey helps them to be more compassionate for someone else who's on their journey of discovering themselves and their sexuality, their queerness.
I think it certainly has, like I said, like as a member of the community, thank you for being so open and honest about your story. Your new song, Faith in Me, is so catchy. It's so great. I think it's going to be one of the songs of the summer. I've listened to it on repeat, knowing I was going to sit down with you today. So
Oh, thank you.
everybody needs to check it out. Like, and I really appreciate your time and congratulations on coming in once again, second place, but it's really good. So
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sad at all about making it to the finale of The Masked Singer. It was so fun. And I do have I'll have more summer songs that I'm releasing this summer. So you'll have to keep an eye out because these ones are like really fun. I mean, the first song is more sentimental, but the second song